Welcome to MMA Heat, the show that is all about heart, endurance, aggression, and technique in MMA and in entertainment. I'm Karyn Bryant. Once again, we're here at the Fortune Gym in Los Angeles, California, and here's what's in store for you today. We are going to talk all about evolution, adding new things to your game, which means we're going to go to the UFC on Fox presser, hear from Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, GSP Rashad Evans, and Chuck Liddell about what that new broadcast television deal means for MMA. We're also going to introduce you to Cezar Mutante. He is Vitor Belfort's protege, a young fighter who's making the move from capoeira to MMA. But first, we are going to the gym with Tyron Woodley. Tyron is an undefeated Strikeforce fighter, great friend to us here at MMA Heat. He is a two-time Division I NCAA All-American wrestler from the University of Missouri, and he always wants to add new techniques to his game. So we set up a session for him down at the world-famous Kings MMA in Huntington Beach, California, so he could learn some Muay Thai techniques from Master Rafael Cordeiro, one of the most popular coaches in the game. Take a look.
So Tyron, talk about how Muay Thai has complemented your game.
Muay Thai is probably the most important part of my game right now. You know, obviously, I'm known as a wrestler. I'm known as a guy that, you know, can pick you up and put you down. But also, I want to threaten with my takedowns, come up with uppercuts, hooks, throw elbows. So it's been probably the most important part is training. And I think, you know, with my hips and my explosiveness, I think I pick it up really well.
Yeah, transitioning out of wrestling, though, what was the hardest thing about this discipline?
The hard thing was the stance. You know, wrestlers, we got a lot of weight on our front leg because we're going forward, we're stopping shots, and our heads forward. But this one is, you know, in Muay Thai, guys are almost straight up. In boxing, they're leaning back. In MMA, it's the middle ground. So you're just finding a stance that fit me where I can also be able to take you down, use good strikes, move my head, defend kicks and stuff like that, and be effective. So it's just been finding my stance, finding my timing, and that's been the most. I mean, I love doing the sport. It's amazing. So doing it is not hard, but just getting in my groove has been the easiest part.
Yeah, and today here at Kings, you got to train a little bit with Andre Dida. He's very well known in K1. What do you think of working out with him?
I have no problem admitting that he kicked my butt today at all. We got to the point where I just basically would make sure I was covering up and trying to see because, you know, at the end of the day, I knew I was class-wise, I was not on this level as far as striking, but if I can see, try to counter, parry inside his uppercuts, see things coming, checking to defend them, then that's going to help me out. So I had to grab the most I can get out of that session, but he's amazing. He had a lot of control. I enjoy working with him. I love to do it again.
Certainly humility is a good part of martial arts, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to have it. You know, if I go out there and try to go pound for this guy, I think he would have probably ended me right there on the mat.
But you could wrestle his butt, I know that. Yeah.
See, I was hoping we had some takedowns involved, but then he started pulling those knees up, and I was like, I think I'll just chill out where we at right now.
What do you think of Hoffa and his teaching methods? Isn't this the first time you've come here and trained with him?
Yeah, I've been telling him I'm gonna get out here for a long time. I finally made it out. You know, his work speaks for, you know, what he does. All the guys that he's trained, but he has a great concept of repetition and not only 1, 2, 3 kick. What are the guys gonna do after you kick them? You know, so thinking about the reaction, having a reaction for their reaction, and just going in multiple chains, multiple dimensions. And, you know, it's cardio. You know, you get in the habit of doing, you know, I think we did the minimum of 30 of everything. So you do 30 of everything, you're going to get better at something. So I think his repetition, the intensity, and the logic behind it is not just throw these combinations. You know, he has a lot of logic, a lot of functionality in it. I think that's going to help these guys be able to go out and open up and throw combinations. A lot of MMA guys don't throw combinations. We throw one punch, sluggers, and we try to knock you out, but a lot of guys don't use head motion, they don't use a jab, they don't use combinations, and that's something I'm trying to change in myself, and I think he understands that concept.
Plus, it's always fun to come down and work out when Shogun's here, huh?
Well, yeah, man, I didn't realize he was going to be here. Hey, that's Shogun right there. But yeah, you know, I've been a fan of his. He's an amazing fighter, especially in Pride days, man. He was the king of stumping people in the face. I never understood that. I was like, man, he just stumped that guy in the face. But it's cool to walk in the gym, and these guys are still low. You know, they still humble. They still, hey, man, good luck on your next fight. And that's what the MMA community should be, and that's what, you know, it has been for these guys. So it's always great to walk in here and, you know, have that love and respect from all those fighters.
Currently, right now, while we're talking, you're 8-0 in MMA. You know, our show is all about heart, endurance, aggression, and technique. What do you think has been the most useful element of that for you to get you to this point?
I definitely think it's the heart, and the heart coupled with the mind. I think, you know, guys really renewed my mind and changed the way I think and changed the way I train, changed the way I live. So when I go out there, you know, a champion makes adjustments within a fight. I can go out there like I fought Tarek. I had a completely game plan on what happened, you know, and I had to make adjustments within a fight, and that showed me some character traits that I can take into the cage. So I think probably the heart is the main thing, because everybody should be in shape, number one. You know, so the endurance, the heart. I think the main thing is, you know, if guys are equal, the thing that's going to separate me from everybody is my mind, the way I think about fighting. And, you know, I don't want to lose. Not to be undefeated, but I just don't want to lose in anything. And I think that's what's going to get me over the edge and get me to multiple belts.
Well, Tyron, you remember when I first met you a while ago, I said you're going to be a future champ. You're well on your way, so good job.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys. You've been supporting from the beginning and hopefully to the end, so appreciate it.
You gotta love Tyron's humility, and he is actually opening up his own gym in the St. Louis area, so be on the lookout for ATT Evolution. Don't go away. When we come back, Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, GSP, and Rashad Evans on the UFC on Fox deal. Watching MMA Heat. I'm Karyn Bryant. Still to come, Chuck Liddell on the possibility of returning to the octagon. But right now, it's time to talk about the UFC on Fox. Now, you know, there was a lot of speculation about what the UFC would do after their deal with Spike TV expired, and rather than starting their own network, they decided to team up with Fox, and they now have the potential to reach millions of new MMA fans with their 7-year deal. We want to talk about some endurance. Well, we went to the press conference and caught up with Dana White and Lorenzo Fertitta from the UFC head office and superstars GSP and Rashad Evans. We wanted to find out what this deal is all about. I'm here with UFC President Dana White on the set of a Fox studio here. This is now going to be home for the UFC. How are you feeling about this deal?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to put into words. This is you know, you guys have heard me say for years, when are you going to do a network? I said, when the right deal comes, we'll do it. And this is the right deal, and we've been working for this for so long, and you know, it's hard to describe how I feel. I'm beyond happy.
And we should break it down for people. It actually encompasses 3 networks, or 4 if you include Deportes, right?
Yes, 4, yeah. It'll be 4 big fights a year on Big Fox, on the network Fox. The Ultimate Fighter Live now going on FX. We'll do 6 fight nights with FX, and Primetime will be on FX also. Then from Unleashed to Prelims, and all of our other programming will be spread throughout the rest of the Fox networks.
And you are a Patriots fan, right? I mean, okay. I'm like, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm the Patriots fan. Yep.
So, of course. So it's kind of great for you too. I know you're a big sports fan, so this will be some fun crossover for you with football and the other sports as well.
Yeah, being able to, you know. Listen, you know as well as I know, and everybody who's watching your show knows, it's a long time coming. This, you know, I feel like and not the UFC or any of that stuff, but I feel like the sport and the athletes will now finally get the credit and the respect that they deserve from the mainstream press, and we've already had. I mean, you guys know, you're at the events, and we have you name the athlete from any other sport, from hockey to football to baseball, all come and appreciate the talent that these fighters have. Now, hopefully the rest of the media world will now too.
Now, there was talk about G4. There was, you know, the rumors coming out before. There was also talk that there would be a branded UFC network. Why did that change, and why did you decide that Fox was the best place to go?
You know, we really believe that a UFC channel would work, but with any venture, there's challenges that exist as far as making that a reality. And we had some opportunities to do a channel with a number of different media companies, but when Fox came to the table and laid out this whole kind of idea of, it's not just putting a few fights on TV. I think you got the sense of the relationship here is we are really integrated within this company at every level. So the level of promotion, cross-promotion, and awareness that they're going to bring to the UFC, we felt like that was the best deal.
What does this deal mean to you? Because you are an American red-blooded sports fan. What does it mean to you now that the UFC is going to be on Fox?
It's a big deal, you know. It's a chance for our sport to be seen on a level as the likes of football, NASCAR, Major League Baseball, and hockey. And that's one thing that our sport's been lacking, is just that fact that it's on that level and people see it on a level. And just that the demographic is going to draw in so many people seeing the UFC for the first time. It's going to be huge for us, and it's going to be huge for the whole organization, because as an athlete, I want to compete on the biggest stage. and having this opportunity it just gives me that to compete on the biggest stage.
Nice. Now, George, you know that you've been, sort of trotted out to help sell UFC around the world. You're internationally loved. How does this mean to you? What does this mean to you now that you're going to sort of be a person that they're going to put on network television to draw in new fans? You're going to have a little bit of a responsibility on your shoulders.
Yeah, of course. It's an opportunity to, like Rashad said, to perform on a bigger range of audience. So it's very exciting for us.
Now, would you guys feel comfortable doing the live Ultimate Fighter? Is that something that you'd be interested in, George?
It's gonna be I'm gonna if they say I'm gonna have to do it, I'm gonna have to do it. But it's gonna be very special. But when I think about it, it's not as it should not be that bad because my opponent will be on the same circumstances that I am. So he's gonna be training outside of his environment too. So we'll be in a equal environment. So it will be interesting. Yeah.
Well, we should say that. Yeah, if we could explain that a little. The coaches, whoever coaches it, is going to have their camp simultaneously while you're filming. So is that you? I know you. They showed a little clip in the teaser of you and Rampage, and that is some gold right there.
It is some gold, but I think it's gonna change the whole dynamics of the show, and I think it's gonna be in a good way because it's gonna be a little bit more serious. See, when you're doing the show before and it's pre-recorded, you know that okay, we're gonna do the show right now, and then I got this so much time to get my mind right, to get whatever I need right. But when it's gonna be like, okay, I'm in training, and when I'm in training camp, it's gonna be hard, man.
For the record, a Fox exec told us that an MMA version of Cletus, the dancing robot, is in the works, so we do have that to look forward to at the bottom of our screens. Stay with us when we come back. Chuck Liddell on MMA versus Lucha Libre. This is MMA Heat. I'm Karyn Bryant. Still to come on the program, Vitor Belfort's protege. But now it is time to spend some time with Chuck Liddell. He's a UFC Hall of Famer who retired with a 21-8 record. People love him for his wars with Randy Couture and Tito Ortiz. He's also one of the most recognizable faces in MMA. Well, he was a part of the UFC and FOX presser. We talked to him a little bit about that deal, but more importantly, about the possibility of him returning to the octagon and about the misconceptions about MMA south of the border.
I'm here with Hall of Famer Chuck Liddell, who is also the Executive Vice President of New Business Development for the UFC. How you feeling about this Fox deal?
It's great, man. It's been a long time coming, but I'm excited about it. It's getting the guys out on a bigger scale and a bigger stage, and it's going to be great.
Well, that is something that I would imagine. You're the ambassador for the sport, so new development, new openings for people, that is a big deal to you. This is going to be on 4 new networks. So how do you think this is going to play out?
I think it's going to be great. I mean, this is the greatest sport in the world, and you get it out to more people and people that haven't seen it. And it's exciting for me. I mean, and it's more acceptance. I mean, it's we've been pushing from back in the day when it was hard to get someone to even do an interview with us, much less now we're on Fox. Now we actually have shows on Fox, and we're going to be on main Fox with NFL and Major League Baseball and NASCAR. So this is exciting.
And it's funny because you are one of the most recognizable faces in the game. So do you still find, though, that people come up to you and go, man, is MMA real? Or, do you still get that?
I don't get that much anymore. I went down to Mexico and we were promoting it down there, and you started getting the Lucha Libre comments again. And I'm like, oh no, we're back there again. But, it's been growing, and I think people have kind of realized it's a real sport, and now we're going to be on the big stage.
Yeah, I mean, you were such a legendary presence, and obviously people owe you a lot for putting the sport on the map. Any part of you going, damn, I wish I could fight on Fox?
For sure. Yeah, it's one of those things. I wish it happened when it should have way back. I mean, I tried. I was on 37.5. I was hoping I was going to make that Best Damn Sports Show fight because they were going to pick one fight for the night to be on that. So I was trying to make that one, but it didn't work out. So.
But you're really done. There's no coming back. You're done. You're done.
I'm retired. I still love the fight, but my reasons for retiring are still the same.
Well, it's interesting. I a while back talked to Vanderlei Silva about it, and he was hoping. He's like, maybe we could do a Masters League where, because he wanted to keep fighting, and he said, I just can't fight 24-year-olds, but if I could fight dudes that are 36, 38, that'd be cool. Any interest in that?
You talked to Dana about that.
Yeah, Dana said no go.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
So who would you like to see? I know they were talking about there'll be 4 big fights on Fox and then a lot on FX. But if you could set it up, November 12th, there's going to be the first fight on Fox. Who would you like to see in the main event? Who do you think is somebody that would grab attention and get a new audience to become fans?
You know, I'm not sure who's set up to fight already, and I have to look at everything. But there's so many exciting fighters out there nowadays. And I'm sure they're their first one. I'm pretty sure you can count on them putting quite a few of them on TV. Like I said, we're going to get some new eyes looking at us, and then you want to have a great night of fights.
And so for you now, I know obviously you're working with the UFC still. Are you going to do any more acting, get into that a little bit of some of this other stuff that you can do now that you've already established your name as a legitimate tough guy?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're going to be doing a little more of that stuff in the future coming up, so we'll see how it goes.
Cool. It's a lot of fun. I don't want to see you go away, so just do whatever you can to stay in front of the cameras, my friend.
I'll do what I can.
All right.
I have fun doing it, so.
Cool. Thank you so much, Chuck.
Thank you very much.
I remember Chuck on Entourage. He was awesome. Very, very funny. Well, don't go away. When we come back, we'll go to Las Vegas to hang with Vitor Belfort and a young student that he says will be champ one day. Welcome back to MMA Heat. I'm Karyn Bryant. It is time now to introduce you to Cezar Mutante. We here at MMA Heat first met Cezar in Toronto when he was helping Randy Couture get ready for his fight with Lyoto Machida. He was discovered by Vitor Belfort and then moved to Las Vegas to train full-time at Extreme Couture. So we talked to Cezar about his considerable capoeira skills and transitioning them to MMA. And we also heard from Vitor as to why this guy is a future champ.
Como você e Vitor encontrou?
Eu conheci o Vitor em Belo Horizonte, quando eu mudei para São Paulo. Lá o Vitor achou que eu tinha talento para a luta e desde então passou a me incentivar dos meus treinos, me ajudando, me treinando.
E você pode falar sobre seu carreira no capoeira?
Yes, eu faço capoeira desde os 6 anos de idade. E eu fui para Belo Horizonte para dar aula de capoeira e treinar capoeira. Aí através de um amigo que eu conheci o Vitor, mas meu primeiro esporte foi a capoeira.
E quais são os desafios quando está treinando MMA?
Eu vim da capoeira, né, como já tinha dito antes. Eu acho que isso facilitou a adaptação para as outras lutas. Então acho que eu consegui num espaço de tempo menor adaptar o boxe, o wrestling, o jiu-jitsu. Eu acho que a capoeira me facilitou pela dificuldade também que é a capoeira.
O Vitor disse que você tem qualidades que ele tem quando ele era jovem. O que pensa?
Eu fico orgulhoso, né, de ser comparado a ele. E eu quero treinar para ser tão bom quanto ele, chegar lá, junto dos melhores.
Quando estamos no Toronto, você estava treinando com Randy Couture. Pode falar sobre ele e sobre sua trabalho com ele?
Sim, eu participei de todo o camping do Randy Couture. Ele me convidou para ajudar ele, mas na verdade foi o contrário. Ele que me ajudou em muita coisa, aprendi muito. E eu fiquei muito feliz pela oportunidade. O Randy é meu ídolo. Desde quando eu sou garoto eu já vi as lutas dele, então eu fiquei muito feliz pela oportunidade, pelo aprendizado, pela chance de estar ali junto com ele.
Você ganhou uma luta no 17 segundos?
Foi a minha primeira luta internacional, né? Eu lutei contra um atleta do Colorado, chamado Sean Sims, e consegui acertar um nocaute, surpreender ele logo no começo da luta com um golpe rápido, combinação de chute e perna. Ele não viu a mão entrando e acabei acertando o nocaute. O interessante foi que eu fiquei treinando aquele golpe, aquela técnica, por todo o meu camping. Todo dia eu fazia o mesmo golpe e no aquecimento eu aqueci com o mesmo golpe. Eu falei, esse vai pegar. Foi o primeiro que eu fiz e o primeiro que pegou.
E você quer trabalhar com Strikeforce ou UFC, não?
Eu quando eu vim para a América, esse é o meu foco, né? O meu objetivo principal é entrar no UFC ou então no Strikeforce. Estou treinando para isso, me esforçando o máximo E o que tiver que enfrentar para entrar, eu vou passar por cima.
So, Vitor, can you tell me how you met Cezar?
Well, it was like 9 years ago. He came to the gym, big head, long dreadlocks, capoeira guy. Cezar had a very tough, when he grew up, very tough life and a lot of difficulties in life. But he always maintained integrity and he always looking for the opportunity. He had a dream. He remembered one day he got a magazine with me on the cover, and he had a dream saying one day I'm gonna meet Vitor and I'm gonna be able to train with him. And then this became a reality, and then Cezar came. Until today, he's everything that I tell him to do, he makes sure he does, and he accomplishes things right. He listens. He's a good friend of mine, and I've been leading him in the way for him, for his journey. I've been helping him, and like I told him, I want his best success.
I noticed just how strong he is, and he just very talented at such a young age. Does he remind you of yourself?
A lot of things that he has I see when I was young, but he has more maturity, and I wish I had someone like he has, someone to kind of guide him, not just in the fighting but in life.
But you definitely see that he's got a bright future ahead of him in MMA.
I told everybody he's going to be a champion. He will be a UFC champion soon. It's just a matter of the opportunity, I spoke to Strikeforce guys and spoke to UFC, they said he need a couple more fights. It's no problem, it's just a matter of time. And Cezar Mutante, UFC champion soon.
Very good. Thank you so much, Vitor.
Well, time will tell if Cezar does indeed turn out to be a champ, but I gotta say that with Vitor Belfort's help, he'll turn out to be one heck of a fighter regardless. Well, that does it for us here at MMA Heat. I want to thank everybody here at the Fortune Gym for their special blend of rudeness and hospitality. It's a really lovely place here. I want to remind you that you can join our Facebook fan page. You can always find more interviews on MMAHeat.com, and you can also follow MMA Heat and me on Twitter. I'm Karyn Bryant. See you next time.